This is going to be a segment. I don't know what I want to call it yet. It might be news and reviews. I like that, but we might change that. So for now, this is news and reviews, and we're going to be reviewing the movie Moonlight. So we're going to do a little chatting, discuss things we liked and didn't like, and our real feelings on it, and ratings that we would give it, and all that.
So Moonlight.
Okay, so should we give a background on it, like, because we can't really tell the story. We should just.
I mean, at this point, I feel like the movies came out a while ago.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
We are kind of late to the book.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody did awards for it, and that's kind of like what inspired me to even want to see is Denzel bringing it up at his acceptance speech when he got his award. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I feel like we can give like a honest opinion. I feel like that probably, if nobody ain't seen it right now, whatever we talk about, they'll probably go see it for themselves at this point. You know
yeah, if people are feeling like skeptical about wanting to see it. I wish I knew the names of some of these actors. I'm gonna try to like, if I bring up them, I'll try to put a picture of them somewhere in here, because I don't know their names. Which, you know, we're in the industry, but you know, we don't know everybody's names yet.
Don't know everybody's names. It's not a big thing. We supported the film.
Yeah. So the film is basically about young black male's journey to being a grown black male in Florida. I believe they were in Florida.
Yeah, they started out in Florida.
Yeah. And basically his trials and tribulations and dealing with his sexuality. So right there, I think that might put people a little off to watch it, especially maybe black males,
especially
heterosexual black males,
or just straight males, period.
Yeah, straight males. Just because, well, heterosexual is straight.
I'm saying straight males, period. You said
yeah, straight males, period. Yeah, because I think nowadays the world is so multicultural. It's like at the end of the day, I think everybody should see this film. It'll give a better perspective on people. And like not to judge people and things like that. So
because it was a great film beyond the color, you know what I mean? I feel like I'm the type of person that I don't see color.
It would pass color line.
Yeah, all things transcend color, you know what I mean? So it's like when I seen that, I seen like
in sexuality line too, I believe. Because I mean, it showed his, you know, lifestyle, but I think it brought to light to me, like we was discussing it earlier, and this made us want to do a review on it. How, you know, for me when we was watching it, I felt like, well, my husband said this. He felt like it was a suspense type to it.
Suspense / horror family. You know what I mean?
That's what he said. A suspense / horror.
I was trying to be a little bit funny, you know, because it's like, you know, I said suspense / horror because it's like you just wait for somebody to get stabbed or something. It's like it doesn't happen, which is awesome. You know what I mean? So.
I think the reason why the reason why he said this is because in the black community, when you think of homosexuals, and I'm not saying that in a derogatory form, I'm saying that as like, you know,
homosexuals is what it is.
Gay people or homosexuals in the black community, you think, oh, something traumatic must have happened to them, or something like that. And I think back in the day, I even did like a panel or interview type video with someone where I even said I knew someone that something traumatic happened to them. So that's what you think happens to everybody.
But I will say this. You know, and as a side note into that, like even when we were seeing that, like nothing necessarily happened to them other than them being neglected. That is something that kind of like happened because we were saying like at the end of the day, where was the supervision on some of these points? And
we'll come back to that. So with that being said, the reason why he said horror / jokingly horror / suspense, and I was also feeling like it was kind of a suspense movie because we were expecting any second something traumatic is going to happen, and that's going to play into his sexuality. With that being said, like nothing really traumatic. Like I mean, nothing sexually traumatic happened to him. You know, that we were suspecting. It was just more so like it showed how he was kind of figuring it out, and then kind of forced into figuring it out a little bit too early, due to the fact there wasn't any supervision. There wasn't I don't know, adult figures regularly in his life until he had to find them, basically. And I think that's another reason why more people should see it, black or white, straight or gay, because at the end of the day, it'll show like I feel like as a kid, that's something you shouldn't really have to worry about, like sexuality. Like, I don't feel that should be something that's this overly discussed. If it comes up because somebody might have two of the same sex parents, then fine. Like, oh yeah, Jimmy has a mom and a mom because they just like each other. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like when you force that onto kids, I feel like that is making them choose too early.
Because like I said, for me, like I still feel like even in watching it, like you said, nothing necessarily traumatic happened to nobody. But my whole thing is like, I do still hold the position in seeing that you know, if certain things would have been in place, then he would not have been
like
as
adults.
curious.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To you know, play out to his curiosity. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, all kids are going to not be sure of certain things because you're trying to discover. You see what I'm saying? But like I said, I came from a two-parent household. You know what I'm saying? So most people not going to, you know, admit certain stuff, but we all have put on our mom's shoes or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, eventually you see your parents together as like man and woman. Yeah. And then you know what you're supposed to do, and it's like your parents don't like beat your ass or something like that. It's just like, men don't do that. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's like, oh, men don't do that. I'm a boy. You know what I'm saying? So it's like he didn't have none of that ever. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I feel like that played into why he chose to go a certain route or whatever, and then he found somebody who was comfortable or similar, but at the same time it doesn't, to me, regular it. You know what I mean?
Make it
regularize.
Yeah.
Normalize. Normalize. Yeah. I just made up that word, but you know, I just don't feel like, you know, it was good to see. Like I said, I was glad that I went to, you know, we took it in. You know what I'm saying? As a, you know, initially I like didn't want to see it at all because it was like I feel like they're trying to push that onto people and try to make it like a new norm. And then it's like I said, I'm like accepting of all kind of people comfortably, but it's just like you can't like try to make it like this is just what the reality is. You know what I mean?
And that's what I think it is good about the film. I will say this, I feel it is good because it is kind of normalizing the fact that nothing traumatic could happen to somebody and they could still be gay. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, that's just who they are. I feel like at the end of the day, it kind of helps people to realize, like, somebody could be who they want to be, and it's like they shouldn't have to get bullied for it. Even if, like, a lot of the times, like, there was a point in the movie where the mom pointed out that she noticed how he was before the kid even knew what he was, you know? And at the end of the day, that happens a lot of times.
But like I said, I feel like he was a certain way because he never
had a male figure. Yeah, and I agree. And then there's something, from my perspective, I feel like no matter what, somebody's going to be who they want to be. Just like if you have 5 kids and one ends up being like a murderer. That just might have been who they was, you know, who they was going to be. It couldn't have, sometimes you couldn't have done nothing different. They could have just came out with a slight problem. Like, you know what I'm saying? As much love as you gave them, and then sometimes it does come back to they were neglected. They didn't feel love. Something happened to them. That's why they ended up being an axe murderer or something like that. But I think it's all about who people are. I feel like you shouldn't really, I think this movie will make people realize, don't judge people, just be there for who they are. And the actor that accepted an award recently at the, I forget, I posted it on my Facebook, but he played the male figure in this the young boy's life, and he said in his award acceptance speech, you know, he wishes there was more people out there like the character he played who would just take somebody under their wing and not care, you know what I'm saying, about those things, just be there for them. And I think he needed that. Like, I think whether or not he was going to be gay or straight, he was looking for a male figure to just feel safe.
I mean, at the end of the day, like, he basically, that's the figure he took on in life.
Oh, he did later on. And he still ended up being gay, though. And even his friend said that's not who you are. But he wanted a male figure to model. I think that's really what it was. He wanted a male figure to model, even though I think he would have still been gay. I don't think it was like you said, like, I don't know. And I think those boys,
I don't know, there wasn't like no way around it, you know what I'm saying? Because of like I said, certain stuff and the way things go in life, and it's like when some people are like socially
awkward.
Isolated, you know what I'm saying? Isolated and awkward, you know what I'm saying? Because like he was living hard. You see what I'm saying? So it's like when you are going through these things psychologically that you're dealing with in life from a very, very young age, and if somebody happened to show you some type of love, that's what you feel. You just feel the love.
Yeah, unconditional love.
It's like, that's kind of like what it showed more than anything. I don't feel like, for me, is it like, you know, as it came down to it, it probably wasn't like a sexuality. It was just like a unconditional, like you said, unconditional love. That's what it came down to. Like, the dude lived a hard ass life, never was really open up to but a couple people. His mom was what she was, you know what I'm saying? And the man figure was like passed away, you know what I'm saying? It was like his homeboy basically was the only person who was always kind of like someone different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I think that's another thing that it showed, like, you, as kids, you tend to, as I think animalistically, you tend to flock to what you're similar to. And, you know, even as a kid, he seemed to be able to be around or find his people, you know, I guess. Like minds.
Kindred spirits.
Yeah, kindred spirits. And I think that's always good. So I think my overall take of this movie is let people be who they are, and let kids be kids. Like, let kids just be kids, and whoever they end up turning into, as long as they're not a murderer, you know.
That's fine, yeah. But also be there, also, like I said, supervision. Cause that's what, you know, I'm not going to sit there and just make it like, yes, a free for all.
Yeah.
You know?
Cause who knows what would have happened had there been a bad kid, like he might have taken advantage of, you know, this kid. You know what I'm saying? Had it been a bad friend, because he could have easily been taken advantage of. But overall, I would give the movie a 4 out of 5, just because I feel like this is a different perspective than I've ever seen of gay black male or a sexuality of a black male. Yeah. What would you give it out of 5 stars?
I'll give it the 5 stars, honestly, because like when I look at art, it's supposed to be thought provoking. It definitely provoked thought. It made me, you know, be uncomfortable and then be comfortable, and then, you know what I'm saying, to have a certain level of understanding. The acting was great, you know what I mean? I felt like the director did his part, because I felt like I was watching a suspense movie, and it kept me, you know, intrigued, waiting for, you know, things that I'm already watching, something bad happen, but I'm still waiting for something worse to happen. You know what I'm saying? That's what I feel like I have to give all parts. I give it a 5 out of 5. You know?
Wow. So, if you haven't seen Moonlight, definitely check it out. Definitely support it. I'm looking forward to seeing more movies that tell a different characterization of
just people. It
people.
don't have to just be.
But I mean, but you have to think about it.
Seeing more gayness. You know?
No. Oh God, Jesus. He didn't mean that derogatorily.
It's not derogatory. It is what it is. You know?
I feel like at the end of the day, this is showing that Hollywood is getting bigger, because it's usually not this many roles, so broad of a role. Like, usually as a black person, and I am making it black or white, because I've seen many. I'm a movie connoisseur. I love all types of movies. So I've seen movies where it showed the perspective of a young white kid, Jewish, Hispanic even, that grows up and, you know, becoming a man and stuff like that. I very rarely see it from the black perspective of traumatization. What's that one with Antoine Fisher? Traumatization. You know what I'm saying? But he didn't end up being gay. But you know what I'm saying? Sexualization.
These are movies that, like you're saying, like they broaden, you know what I mean, the characteristics of like black people. And you got to give, like you said, Hollywood, I guess, a nod for, I guess, accepting this film into it. But like you said, like these movies, you know what I mean, show human life. You know what I mean?
And then I feel like people need to.
Like you said, show a lot of black characters and you know, regular, you know,
everyday life.
Because you said they always have us playing like
gangsters, drug addicts, drug dealers,
the typical
angry black woman.
Angry black.
I mean, but this was in there. I mean, his mom was a drug addict, but I mean that it's still. I mean, that happened.
It showed all facets.
Yeah, it showed all facets. And then I even like the fact that it showed that the guy that took him under his wing was a good guy, even though he did bad things for a living. Like, I feel like people don't realize that. Like, you know, somebody might do something, just like these politicians. They're bad. They do bad things, but I'm sure they're not bad to their family. You know what I'm saying? Like, or people they care about.
I mean, that's what it's like when you come down to it. There's no such thing as good or bad unless you, like you said, you literally break the 10 Commandments in my eyes. You know what I'm saying? Because like you said, the perspective in which you do things to survive is nothing but survival.
Yeah.
You know
Animalistically, you're going to do what you need to do to survive for you and your family.
Yeah.
And I think it was good that it showed that soft side of him. Like, I wasn't expecting him to be a nice guy.
Like that.
Yeah. But he was really a nice guy, and I even liked his woman, like Janelle Monáe. I love Janelle Monáe. Applause. Yeah, she's blossoming, like, before our eyes. And we saw her when she first was coming out at Howard.
Yeah, Howard Theater. Howard Theater was actually
a fashion show.
We did see her that. But
yeah.
Did she do something with Raphael Sadiq when we see Raphael Sadiq perform at
I don't know. We saw her back in the day when she was still wearing black and white suits. Yeah. And she was good then. And now to see her blossoming and taking all these roles, and she's amazing. And I'm so proud of her and happy that she's doing the damn thing.
Yeah.
But this video is getting long. So with that said, this is great. We hope to do more news and reviews together. And I hope you'll be back. And I hope you don't mind my no makeup face. We want to do it more of like you're sitting down talking with us as we discuss stuff that we always talk about. Because we always talk about news, movies, everything.
Yeah.
Music. So we'll see you guys next time. Bye.